My name is Edward Buck. I'm the VP of Services and Support at UnitedLayer. So if you have a static site, setting up a load balancer in front of that is actually very simple. So let's say you have a static site with a single server. You basically duplicate that static site on a second server, and then you put a load balancer in front of it, and off you go. If you have a database behind it, it gets a little bit more complicated. You'll probably want to centralize the data into a single device or server, and then front end that with the web servers or application servers that are going to be processing your end user requests. And so in that scenario, what you would have is, let's say you could have 3 servers, one acting as your database, front-ended by 2 web servers, and then you put a load balancer in front of that, and now you have load balancing. So in the first example I gave, you have 2 servers, and they have 2 different IP addresses, and basically you use DNS round robin to load balance requests between those 2. The one problem with DNS load balancing, however, is if one of the servers goes down and the IP address of that server is still pointing, where the DNS is still pointing at that IP address, some requests will actually get dropped because it'll go to the server that's down. What a hardware load balancer does is it actually makes sure that the resources behind it are actually up. And so if one of the servers goes down, it'll actually send traffic to the good server. If the sessions are managed in your database, then basically the load balancer can send traffic between the various front-end servers without thinking too much about sessions. But if actually the sessions are managed on the web server itself, then what you need the load balancer to do is actually to make that session to the load balancer to that server sticky, so that when a new request comes in for that particular user hitting the load balancer, it sends it to the same server every time. Because if they get switched to the other server, potentially that session may get broken. The other benefit of load balancing is that it provides availability in the event that you actually have a web server failure. If you have multiple web servers, if one of them goes down, the other one can basically take its place, and your end users never knew that anything happened.